Transport vehicles spew out about 1/5 of all of Ireland's greenhouse gas emissions every day, but we have a legal obligation to cut those emissions in half by 2030. Tomorrow, the Minister for Transport, Eamon Ryan, will tell his Cabinet colleagues that his department is going to spend the next 12 months developing major new strategies to get people out of their cars. The measures under consideration include a €10 per day congestion charge for cars in cities, a 400% increase in parking charges, car-free urban centres and speed limit reductions.
We don't make enough money anyway, so why are we paying more money for parking?
And then for people who just come in for work are just being charged extra for purely trying to make a living.
I've no problem with the congestion charges coming into play or parking increasing, providing that it's actually getting reinvested by the tax base into public transport.
The National Transport Authority has published a key research document about the measures and highlights how cheaper and more reliable public transport is key.
We haven't done anything really in transport in decades, and this is, the short, sharp shock that we're going to have to go through to get to emissions targets by 2030. Our city will be cleaner, it'll be easier to get around, it will be cheaper to get around and better to live in.
What we are proposing is that we see either a week or a month of free public transport, and that would allow people to see if there are alternatives to the car. If they don't take up that offer, if people don't take up the available public transport, then we can look at more punishing measures.
There's no question that many of the measures likely to be discussed over the next 12 months in relation to traffic management and congestion control will be controversial. But there's no question either that without that conversation there simply will not be enough road space, particularly in cities, for the full development of public transport and active transport infrastructure that are so critical if we're going to reduce our greenhouse gas emissions. Tomorrow's memo to Cabinet will kickstart that whole process. George Lee, RTE News.